The media, at least the corporate media, seems to have this obsession with the strong female lead. Like they can magically make women stronger, faster, better than men all the time. And this has been going on for the last 30, 40 years, where every single new anything has to have a strong female lead in order to appease the woke crowd, which is, of course, not even woke enough these days. Anyway, when I went out and tried to set upon making a book with a female superhero in Flying Sparks, I wanted to do something a little bit different and make a female lead who isn't just magically stronger than all the men's. That doesn't go out there and just because she's a girl, she can beat up like 10 trained soldiers without even breaking a sweat. That is not Flying Sparks. Flying Sparks, I like to call it something I wish I could trademark. Maybe I can. But I like to call it a feminine female lead. And that's what I have in Meta Girl for Flying Sparks. So if you have not checked out my series, it's got 12 issues out, more on the way. I definitely recommend you do so. This is exactly what a book like Supergirl could be, or Batgirl could be, if they actually, tried to ground the character a little bit in reality. But unfortunately, they're not interested in doing that these days in any medium. So we're fighting back. We're making women women and men men. There are differences between the two. Don't let them lie to you about that. And enjoy Flying Sparks today. That link will be in the description below. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel. All right. Today we get our epic screen rant, Slay Queen, of course, by Ben Rolfe. We could look up Ben Rolfe here. Let's see. Ben Rolfe is a comics features writer. Well, he doesn't have the glasses and the open mouth, so that's unusual. He is Euro, so I guess it's a little different. But what they've got is DC finally confirms Supergirl is stronger than Superman. Oh, Slay Queen. Yeah, it's just like every other property these days. Who's the most powerful Marvel character? Oh, it's Captain Marvel. Yeah, Carol Danvers. Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense. Like always, I remember reading a book several years ago where this happened, where it's just like this random girl with no superpowers broke out of a jail cell by herself, took down a whole horde of these trained soldiers in armor and with weapons and things like that when she had none, and it was just ridiculous. And I was like, this can't happen. But this is the obsession. They want to debase characters like Superman. They want to emasculate characters like Superman. So they're not what you look up to. They're not the Superman. He is something that is below other characters, and mostly the female characters in the universe. It's very bizarre. If you ever had a girl who was 5'2", 5'3", come up to some super buff, strong guy, she'd just get her freaking butt kicked every single time. And it's ridiculous to watch at this point. It really started with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They really wanted to do that back in the 90s with creepy Joss Whedon. And he started this whole archetype where everything just has to look like that now. Now, it was fun in the 90s, when it was a one-off thing and it was different. She had powers or whatever. So you kind of, I guess, mitigate that in your mind. But when it became everything, it just became tired really fast. Now, the whole point of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that kind of worked is, she was nice to look at. And, of course, they do that with Supergirl. She's nice to look at, too. But that's the whole crux of all that. And that's the whole crux of now what every comic book and every film is about, which just doesn't work. And this is not just a thing based on social justice and gender. They love to do this. When they see one thing kind of happen in Hollywood, they love to do this also. I'll go back to The Matrix. The Matrix, had that little slow motion stop fighting in time sort of thing because of the weird Matrix glitches. It kind of worked, I guess. They started doing that in every action movie, whether time stops or not. And it just looks ridiculous, upon the 10th or 100th movie where they do the exact same thing. Hollywood and DC really don't have creative bones in their body, and this is where it comes from. They just have to copy and copy and copy and copy until there's really no originality, nothing interesting, and no soul left in any of these properties. And that's what they've done to Superman all across the board. That's what they've done to Batman across the board at this point, too. And that's what they've done to pretty much every property out there. It's gotten so absurd that you even have a TV show like Picard, right? Which is the Star Trek reboot or whatever it is, where, of course, the main character is supposed to be who? Picard. And even in that, they have to put in this like super strong, super smart female lead who's better than Picard. And he just kind of follows her around. And it's a bizarre thing when you name the TV show that, and you obviously have the draw where everybody wants to come see Patrick Stewart. Why would they do that? Just doesn't make sense. And that's where we're at now. So there's a different way. Steer away from corporate media properties. You'll be able to have fun. You won't be lectured to about your race or gender in the indie scene. And that is, of course, the message we always try to get across on this channel. What do you think here? Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.